Yourself? Becky.
Hey.
Thank you. Alrighty. With the world full of advancing technology and medical research, it is really the best way to protect people from a dangerous virus by altering it into a new one in a lab. Should we be playing God with already deadly pathogens by creating a bridge from animal to human transmission? These are the central questions under debate when it comes to gain-of-function research. Gain-of-function, or GOF research, is a branch of virology that alters pathogens, such as viruses, in a controlled environment to give them features not presently found in nature. As scary as this type of research seems, some doctors will argue that there are real scientific benefits to this type of research. However, the benefits of GOF may be limited. They do obtain vital information through this avenue of science. The original objective of GOF research on viruses is to provide an understanding of how viruses might mutate in the wild to cause human pandemics, potentially allowing scientists more time to develop effective vaccine strategies. As explained in an article named "A New Approach to Evaluating the Risk-Benefit Equation of GOF Research" by Imperial and Cassidy-Duvall, these experiments can be highly beneficial and can generate pest-resistant crops, microbes expressing proteins for medical therapy, and new cancer therapies. And according to Pay's article, Fast-Growing Engineered Microbes, it also shortens the test and trial times in research and development stages and reduces the operation costs for production. While benefits are limited but important, the cons of using this method is widespread and controversial. Unfortunately, GOF research has proven to be more dangerous than the benefits make up for. It is brought to our attention in Evans, Lipsitz, and Levinson's article, "The Ethics of Biosafety Considerations in GOF Research," that in experiments involving the creation of potential pandemic pathogens, or PPPs, and accidental release could lead to widespread transmission. Therefore, biosafety for PPP research constitutes a problem in occupational and public health. Within the last century, humans have faced 3 devastating human influenza pandemics that are directly connected to this type of research. H1N1 in 1918, H2N2 in 1957, and H3N2 in 1968. Collectively, these 3 pandemics are estimated to have resulted in approximately 46 million deaths and over 500 million infections. As detailed in Adam McGee, Bowie Scott, and McIntyre's article, "Does Influenza Pandemic Preparedness and Mitigation Require GOF Research?" Because of the high risk of exposure to the general population and our history of leaks, action needs to be taken to stop these patterns. Which is why a call for a pause in research until a better solution can be found is needed. Recently, there have been reports of biosafety mishaps, including anthrax, smallpox, and the highly pathogenic H5N1 influenza virus strains, all of which are being experimented on in our government-funded labs. This includes the very plausible chance that the current coronavirus is a result of GOF research. Competing theories about the GOF about coronavirus's origin found that a prominent lab, the Wuhan Institute of Virology, was conducting this kind of research on coronaviruses. What's more, the US has funded grants that supported that lab, which might have given State Department officials an incentive not to thoroughly investigate the possibility of a lab leak. Speculate explains in his article, "GOF Research Ethical Analysis," that in 2014, the US government called for a pause on funding irrelevant research of GOF experiments, including influenza, SARS, and MERS viruses. Even with a pause placed on this research, it has come to light that the government is still continuing to fund labs that actively participate in GOF experiments. In a world where new infectious agents that can rapidly spread among vulnerable populations are described on a regular basis, humanity needs a healthy research establishment focused on microbial threats. However, the controversial aspects of GOF research experiments in microbiology arise when microbes are modified to have new properties that can enhance their virulence and transmissibility, which brings up concerns about new diseases, outbreaks, pandemics, biosafety, and biosecurity. Furthermore, the advantages of GOF research provides further understanding of harmful pathogens, whereas the disadvantages of GOF research is that it poses huge safety risks to our populations. And with the relevance of today's ongoing pandemic, the need to stop or heavily regulate this type of research is needed. With the information, I implore you to not support this type of research and to help our government find a way to conduct these dangerous experiments through a more controlled and safer approach. Thank you. Would you like to introduce yourself again?
Arthur.